There's a small country in Europe where people bike more than they walk, introduce themselves with the formality of a courtroom, and casually live below sea level like it's no big deal. And what's normal there can feel absolutely unreal to everyone else. Because in Holland, the simplest everyday habits can leave outsiders wondering if they accidentally stepped into another dimension. Most travelers arrive expecting tulips and windmills. But what they find instead is a culture built on blunt honesty, centuries of water warfare, and traditions so unique they spark endless online debates. Some of these customs have shaped the entire world without most people even realizing it. Others, they're so baffling that visitors think locals are messing with them. But once you understand the hidden reasons behind these habits, everything starts to make sense. And you begin to see how a tiny country ended up influencing global finance, engineering, and even the color of your favorite vegetables. And that's where things get really interesting. Because the first thing that shocks most outsiders isn't the landscape, the food, or even the weather. It's the people. The first surprise hits the moment you try having a simple conversation. Dutch people don't hint, they don't sugarcoat, and they definitely don't dance around their point. They say exactly what they mean, and they expect you to do the same. For someone visiting from a culture where communication is wrapped in politeness and soft wording, this can feel almost shocking, like you just stepped into a world where everyone skipped the small talk and went straight to the truth. To locals, this honesty isn't rude at all. It's efficient, it's respectful, it's how you avoid misunderstandings. But for newcomers, it can feel like every discussion turns into a moment of brutal clarity. Online, people even joke that Dutch conversations are honesty speedruns. Though of course, that's just the internet having fun. Still, there's no denying that the Dutch approach is different and strangely refreshing once you get used to it. And it doesn't stop there. Even the way they introduce themselves follows this same straightforward rhythm. Instead of a casual, "Hey," many Dutch people will open with their last name first, especially on the phone. In some places, answering a call without identifying yourself is considered almost rude. It's a tiny detail, but it instantly tells you how deeply the culture values directness and clarity. You know exactly who you're talking to from the second they pick up. It's a style of communication that might catch you off guard. But it's only the beginning, because the moment you step outside and take a look at how Dutch people actually move through their daily lives, things get even more surprising. The shock really sets in once you see how the Dutch get around. In most countries, bikes are a hobby. In the Netherlands, they're a lifestyle. You'll watch entire families pedal past like it's the most natural thing in the world. Parents balancing groceries, kids riding on tiny seats, and business professionals biking in full suits without breaking a sweat. What looks like complete chaos somehow flows perfectly, because the cycling system is so advanced that cars feel like the visitors. Traffic lights, highways, parking garages, all built for bikes. It's a rhythm outsiders rarely see anywhere else. And when you try hanging out with a Dutch friend, you'll run into another surprising habit. Everything goes into the agenda. Want to grab coffee next week? They might check a planner that's booked out for a month. It's not because they don't want to see you. It's just how life works. Organization comes first, spontaneity second. For people used to last-minute plans, this alone feels like moving to another planet. But nothing prepares visitors for the famous birthday circle party. You walk into a room expecting a regular celebration, and instead find everyone sitting in a perfect circle, congratulating not just the birthday person, but the entire family. It's structured, it's calm, and it can feel incredibly formal compared to the wild parties many cultures expect. Yet for Dutch families, this is comfort, a space where everyone connects at once. Then there are the windows, the large, open, uncovered windows staring right at the street. Outsiders speculate endlessly about why the Dutch avoid curtains. Some people online claim it's a sign of honesty. Others say it's about practicality. And some just think it's a habit that's stuck through the generations. Whatever the reason, it's one of the first things newcomers notice. The feeling that everything is open, visible, and unapologetically normal. These everyday customs already paint a picture of a country that does things its own way. But none of this compares to how Holland has shaped world history in ways most people never learn about. Long before the Netherlands became famous for bikes and windmills, the Dutch were reshaping global history in ways most people never realize. What looks like a small nation on the map has been behind some of the biggest shifts in economics, food, and even the drinks people enjoy around the world. Take the Amsterdam Stock Exchange, for example. In 1602, the Dutch East India Company created something no other country had ever built before: a centralized exchange where shares could be traded. This wasn't just a clever financial idea. It became the blueprint for the global stock markets we use today. Anytime you hear about Wall Street, the FTSE, or the Nikkei, you're hearing echoes of a Dutch idea from over 400 years ago. And then there are carrots. Yes, carrots. Most people assume the orange color is just nature doing its thing, but the truth is far stranger. Dutch growers are credited with cultivating the modern orange carrot as we know it. Some say it was done to honor the House of Orange. Others argue it was simply practical breeding. Historians still debate it, and the internet has turned it into a full-on controversy. But either way, the carrots you see in supermarkets today were shaped by Dutch hands. Even the drinks people enjoy around the world carry a Dutch fingerprint. The Netherlands is the birthplace of Jenever, the ancestor of modern gin. It was originally used as a kind of medicinal tonic, something people believed could calm the nerves and warm the body. Over time, it evolved, spread, changed flavors, and eventually turned into the gin that fills bars across the globe. Most people sipping a gin and tonic today have no idea they're drinking a piece of Dutch history. These inventions didn't just influence culture, they helped define it. But the most unbelievable part? The Dutch weren't just reshaping society. They were literally reshaping the land beneath their feet. And what they did next is something almost no other country on Earth has ever attempted. Nothing explains the Netherlands better than the simple fact that much of it shouldn't even exist above water. More than half the country sits at or below sea level, a detail that would terrify most nations. But instead of fleeing from the coastline, the Dutch confronted the ocean head-on and slowly engineered an entire landscape into something livable. For centuries, they battled rising tides with a mix of strategy, patience, and sheer stubbornness. Dikes became their shields, polders became their reclaimed victories, and seawalls turned into the silent guardians, holding back disaster. What outsiders often see as peaceful countryside is actually the result of generations of work. Land pulled from water, shaped by hand, and protected by some of the most advanced engineering in the world. The masterpiece of this effort is the Delta Works, a network of storm barriers so massive and complex that experts sometimes refer to it as a modern wonder. These structures aren't just walls, they're movable, adaptable defenses that respond to the sea like living machines. The Dutch designed them not just to survive storms, but to outsmart them. Everywhere you look, reminders of this history stand tall. Over 1,000 historic windmills still scatter the landscape. And though tourists love them for their beauty, these machines were once lifelines. Before modern pumps, it was the windmills that drained marshes, controlled water levels, and kept entire towns from flooding. Of course, the internet loves to speculate about the future. Rumors pop up every year, claiming the Netherlands is slowly sinking or running out of time. But experts say it's not that simple. While the country faces pressure from rising sea levels, the Dutch are constantly upgrading defenses, experimenting with floating neighborhoods, and rethinking coastal design. If anything, the nation has become the world's test lab for living with water, not running from it. For the Dutch, this ongoing battle shaped their identity. It created a culture built on practicality, cooperation, and a deep understanding that survival comes from working together. And those values spill into the traditions that outsiders find so unusual. Because once you look past the engineering marvels, the Netherlands has customs you won't see anywhere else. Once you move past the engineering miracles, Dutch culture reveals a whole new layer of surprises, traditions that outsiders never expect and sometimes can't fully wrap their heads around. And one of the most talked about is Sinterklaas. Even though the celebration looks a bit like another global holiday involving gifts and winter cheer, it has its own rules, songs, snacks, and rituals that make it uniquely Dutch. Kids write poems, leave shoes by the fireplace, and wait for surprises that feel magical without copying anyone else's traditions. It's a celebration born from centuries of storytelling, and to locals, it's pure nostalgia. Then there's King's Day, a national explosion of orange where the entire country transforms for one massive celebration. Streets turn into open-air markets, music floods every corner, and people dress head to toe in bright orange like it's the only color on Earth. For visitors, it feels like the whole country agreed to hit the pause and party at the exact same moment. No schedule, no agenda. Just a sea of orange energy that's impossible to forget. But perhaps the most charming and confusing tradition is what the Dutch eat for breakfast. In most places, chocolate sprinkles are a treat for kids. In the Netherlands, hagelslag is perfectly normal to enjoy first thing in the morning. Adults, children, grandparents. Everyone spreads butter on bread and tops it with chocolate, like it's the most logical breakfast in the world. Outsiders joke about it online, but the Dutch see it as comfort food, passed down through generations. Then there's bitterballen, deep-fried, crispy snacks with a molten center that locals love to enjoy with a drink. They're the kind of food that looks innocent until you bite in and immediately risk losing the top layer of your tongue. You'll find them at bars, family gatherings, or casual nights out, and they somehow always disappear from the plate faster than expected. These traditions may seem random from the outside, but each one tells a story about community, celebration, and the simple joys that make Dutch life feel so distinct. And yet, the surprises don't stop with food or holidays. Because even the most ordinary daily systems in the Netherlands reveal just how differently this country operates. Spend just 1 week in the Netherlands, and you'll realize that even the simplest parts of daily life run on a completely different wavelength. One of the most surprising examples is the tikkie culture. In many places, people hesitate to ask for money back after splitting a meal. In the Netherlands, it's normal, even expected, to send a quick digital payment request for a couple of euros. No awkwardness, no guilt, just a clean little link that settles the bill instantly. Outsiders sometimes joke that the Dutch can calculate shared costs faster than a calculator. But really, it's just efficiency baked into everyday life. That same practicality shows up everywhere, including in the way some rural areas handle honesty. You'll find unmanned farm stands along quiet roads, offering fresh eggs, flowers, or produce, with nothing but a small box for payments. No cameras, no staff. Just trust. People take what they need, leave the right amount of money, and go on their way. It's such a simple system, but it reflects generations of community-minded living. And then there's the unwritten law of the bike paths, something every visitor learns the hard way. Dutch cycling isn't just popular, it's governed by a whole set of unspoken rules. There's a fast lane, a slow lane, a correct way to signal turns, and a rhythm to merging that feels almost instinctive to locals. Step onto a bike path without looking, and you'll instantly understand just how much priority bicycles hold. It's not chaos, it's order disguised as speed. Even public transportation carries the same forward-thinking attitude. A detail many people don't realize is that Dutch trains run entirely on wind energy, turning daily commutes into a quiet example of clean innovation. While some countries are still debating renewable energy, the Netherlands is literally powering its rail system with the breeze. Everything, from payment culture to transportation, shows how the Dutch approach life: practical, efficient, and often decades ahead of the curve. But to really understand just how uniquely the Netherlands operates, you have to look at a few final quirks. Little habits and cultural touches that reveal a side of Dutch life most outsiders never expect. Just when you think you've seen everything, the Netherlands surprises you with a few final details that complete the picture of how distinct Dutch culture truly is. One of the most instantly noticeable is the three-kiss greeting, a tradition that varies by region but often catches visitors off guard. It's friendly, it's warm, and it skips the hesitation you find in many other cultures. For some, it's charming. For others, it's a moment of internal panic. But either way, it's unmistakably Dutch. Then, there's the national obsession that unites everyone, young and old: the weather. Dutch weather changes so quickly that checking the forecast becomes a full-time hobby. People comment on it in passing, argue about it with friends, and joke about how unpredictable it is. Online, it's practically a meme. 1 minute sunny, the next minute rain sideways, and always discussed like it's a plot twist nobody saw coming. Another detail that visitors notice right away is the tap water. The Dutch take enormous pride in having some of the cleanest drinking water in the world, and they'll happily remind you of it. No need for filters, bottles, or fancy gadgets. Just turn on the tap, and you get water that tastes crisp enough to make bottled brands seem unnecessary. But the most interesting feature of Dutch life might be something you can't directly translate: gezelligheid. It isn't about coziness alone, and it isn't just comfort. It's the feeling of warmth, belonging, and togetherness that fills a room when people are enjoying a moment without rushing. It's a mood, a vibe, a sense of ease that locals instantly recognize, but outsiders often struggle to define. And once you experience it, you understand why it's such a core part of Dutch culture. Each of these small quirks, from greetings to weather talk to the untranslatable atmosphere of gezelligheid, acts like the final pieces of a puzzle. They show that life in the Netherlands isn't just shaped by history, engineering, or tradition. It's shaped by the little things, the habits and feelings that make everyday life unmistakably Dutch. And when you put all of these pieces together, you begin to see a country that's far more unique than it first appears. Which leads to one last question. When you look back at these 21 habits, inventions, traditions, and everyday surprises, a clear picture starts to form. The Netherlands isn't just a place of tulips or canals. It's a country shaped by centuries of battling the sea, defending its identity, and carving out space, literally and culturally, where none existed before. What looks odd to outsiders is often the product of deep history. A people who learned to value honesty because confusion could cost lives, who built systems of trust because community was survival, who engineered the land beneath their feet because giving up simply wasn't an option. Even the quirkiest habits, the sprinkles on bread, the tikkies, the open windows, make sense when you see them through this lens of practicality mixed with tradition. And yet, there's something else woven into all of it. A feeling that life doesn't need to be rushed, that simplicity can be powerful, and that everyday moments can hold a kind of warmth you can't put into words. That feeling, that gezelligheid, is what truly sets the Netherlands apart. So the next time you hear someone mention Holland, you might think about windmills or bikes. But behind those iconic images is a country full of strange, charming, innovative habits that feel completely normal to the people who live there, and absolutely fascinating to everyone else. And it leads to one final thought. Maybe the things we see as weird in other cultures are exactly what make them unforgettable. And there you have it. 21 things that might seem completely normal in Holland, but feel like another world to everyone else. From bikes weaving through traffic like clockwork, to chocolate sprinkles for breakfast, to centuries of engineering that keep the sea at bay, the Dutch really know how to live life their own way. If you enjoyed exploring these unique Dutch habits, there's plenty more where that came from. Make sure to subscribe to Dear Old Dutch so you never miss a deep dive into the quirks, culture, and hidden stories of the Netherlands. Hit that notification bell too, and join us as we uncover more fascinating facts that make this country truly one of a kind. Because in Holland, what's normal for some is endlessly fascinating for the rest of the world, and you won't want to miss a single story.